Welcome to the Poetic Resurrection Podcast, where we explore perceptions. How self-reflecting questions can give you a better understanding of self. I'm your host, Sonia Iris Lozada. Stay tuned. Welcome to the Poetic Resurrection Podcast, Colors of Life Season 3 Recap. I'd like to thank the following guests for their knowledge and talent on the podcast. There are links below in the notes, and you can also find us on Apple iTunes, Spotify, Pandora, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Audible, Google, and many other podcast platforms. Luis J. Rodriguez reads his poem, Always Running. This poem describes the hardships of poverty, love lost, and how he dealt with these experiences. Luivette Resto read her poem, Living on Islands Not Found on Maps, and discusses the experience of being bicultural. Lynne Thompson read her poem, Invention, and her life experience from being an adoptee to becoming the current Los Angeles Poet Laureate. Jasmine Di Angelo read her poem, Halves of Halves, which addresses her identity and acceptance. Dr. Iredia, the first guest for Black History Month, she reads her poem, My Childlike Eyes, and we discuss the concept and development of the poem. CEO Spoken King is our second guest for Black History Month. He reads his poem, The Black King's Song, which covers the Black experience. Christoph Jenkins closes off Season 3 and Black History Month. He reads several of his haikus, and we discuss the meanings of each one. I want to thank the aforementioned guests. Your knowledge has enlightened this podcast. We will be on hiatus for the next month, but don't worry, we'll have weekly episodes. When we come back, we'll have more poets, writers, and people of interest, along with fresh stories and poetry. Until then, many blessings. Thank you for listening to the Poetic Resurrection Podcast, available on Apple iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Music, Google Music, and many other podcast platforms. Please visit us and subscribe to our newsletter at poeticresurrection.com for the latest information and updates.